313-444-8919. Again, that number is 313-444-8919. Or you can jump in the chat room at alienxradio.com.
Am I the meanest?
Alien Stone.
Am I the prettiest?
Alien Stone.
Am I the baddest mofo low down around this time?
Alien Stone.
But who am I?
Alien Stone.
Who am I?
Alien Stone.
I can't hear you.
Alien Stone.
Shogun of Harlem.
All right, I'm going to say morning, folks. Usually I say good morning, folks, but today is not a good morning for me at all, and I do apologize for starting off with some attitude, but, I just love the way Facebook cannot possibly figure out what the hell they are doing in life. Every 5 minutes, they're coming up with some new way to dilute their processes of everything on Facebook to make it more difficult, more convoluted, more ridiculous, and harder to figure out, I guess. Because after all this time that I've been broadcasting live on Facebook, all this time using ManyCam, this whole time without problems, every once in a while, yeah, their updates would screw me up and I would have to sign out and sign back in, but I'd be able to broadcast. Well, today, I go to sign in and broadcast, and they proceed to tell me that I can't broadcast live on Facebook because I'm a developer of the ManyCam app, and it hasn't been approved yet as it is only a beta test. Well, where's all my fucking money then? If I'm the developer of ManyCam, and I own ManyCam, then where's all my money? I am not the developer of ManyCam. I do not own ManyCam, and it has been an approved app on Facebook for years now, and it is currently live being used as we speak on several pages across Facebook. But for some reason, their last update that Microsoft sent me has somehow convinced Facebook that I'm the owner of ManyCam, so I can't use it until I figure out how to submit approval through the developers page, which I don't understand at all because I'm not a developer. I've never developed an app. I've never built an app. I've never submitted an app. So why would Facebook think that I'm the owner of an app that's been around making much money for a long time, being used by professionals across the entire industry? I'm interested. Really interested in knowing what the hell that means, Facebook. Because I'm live on YouTube right now. They have no problems with it because YouTube apparently knows what they're doing, I guess. They can tell the difference between a guy who runs a little radio station in Taylor, Michigan, and the guy that owns ManyCam. Okay? Quite a bit of a difference, okay? I'm quite sure we have different IP addresses. Yeah. Quite sure we have different permissions on the program, I'm sure. Okay? So, this is another fantastic Facebook glitch. Maybe I said something that the soft-sided leftists over at Facebook didn't like or something, I don't know. But I usually talk about dick and fart jokes on this show. I usually don't talk about politics. You know what I mean? I usually don't do that. So I don't even understand where this is coming from. So anyway, I'm going to take a short breath here, and I'm going to be back with some more some music for your Vajir holes, and we're going to get this thing started. I'm going to try to calm down because I'm not going to be able to get on Facebook. So I'm going to post the YouTube video on Facebook and watch them say something about that now. Anyway, so in the meantime, let's start things the way we always start things off, shall we?
Broadcasting directly into your brain.
Let's take a look at this day in history.
September 16th, 1974. President Gerald Ford announces a conditional amnesty program for deserters and draft evaders during the Vietnam War.
I do not want to delay another day in resolving the dilemmas of the past so that we may all get going on the pressing problems of the present.
1982, a massacre in Lebanon months after Israel's invasion to drive out the PLO. Lebanese Christian militiamen kill hundreds of Palestinian men, women, and children in 2 refugee camps in West Beirut. The militiamen are allied with Israel, which is accused of doing nothing to prevent the slaughter. Outrage over the massacre cost future Israeli Prime Minister Ariel Sharon his job as defense minister. 1498. Tomás de Torquemada, the Catholic monk notorious for his role in the Spanish Inquisition, dies in Avila, Spain. 1810. Mexico begins its revolt against Spanish colonial rule. A Catholic priest, Father Miguel Hidalgo, declares his country's independence. His rebellion soon fails, but Spain formally relinquishes its New World colony 11 years later. 1977. Maria Callas, the American-born prima donna famed for her lyric soprano and fiery temperament, dies in Paris. She was 53 years old. And 1925.
The thrill is gone away.
Guitarist B.B. King, one of the great blues artists of all time, is born in Mississippi.
And you'll be sorry.
Today in history, September 16th. Camille Bohannon, The Associated Press.
All right, folks, do apologize. I'm having all kinds of technical issues today, ain't I? Aren't I? Aren't I? Ain't I? Ain't's not a word. It is a word. I don't care what you say. Ain't is a word. All right, anyway, we're going to get some God damn, man. I'm just trying to move some stuff around on the screen today, man, and as soon as I let go of it, everything shoots back over to the other monitor. I'm just trying to function this morning. Starting things off for you with some brand new submission to the station from a gentleman by the name of Reverend Jack of the John 5 fame. He submitted some music to the station, so we're going to get things underway for you with Putting Out My Flames with Gasoline.
Society, moving fast, I kick you in the ass and won't leave a trace to see. Don't leave what the rich folks say, I'll just play the fake. Working for a man, it's time to make your stand. Living in your rights, all down and pedal down, running till the end. Gotta fight the fire down to the wire, the war is yours to win. No one to blame, there's no more shame in the world that's so damn mean. Out on the prowl, they can't stop me now. Putting out my flames with gasoline. Always secure, laying the fool. Your nose to the ground, got your sunken blind, you're bending all the rules. Don't believe what the rich folks say, all this playing the make. Working for the man, it's time to make your stand. Living in your rights, all down and pedal down, running till the end. Gotta fight the fire down to the wire, the war is yours to win. No one to blame, there's no more shame in the world that's so damn mean. Out on the prowl, you can't stop me now. Putting out my flames with gasoline.
I'm gonna make your dreams come true.
Got something to say? Don't be a bitch. Call into the show at 313-444-8919. Broadcasting from beyond planet chaos directly into your Vajir holes. You have been beamed aboard and are now inside the mothership for the attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space.
Can you feel it?
Alrighty, folks. What a morning, right? What a morning. See, you take a couple of weeks off, you come back, and it's just utter chaos. Utter chaos. The way technology works today is you literally have to touch it and manipulate it every single day. If you let it sit by itself, the gremlins will rewrite the code and do whatever the hell they want to do. When you come back, chaos. Nothing works. Anyway, let's move on from that, shall we? It is now time for the punchlines. Punchline's a little bit different today. I've only got one punchline for you. That's a complete story. Woman pecked to death by aggressive rooster. I call this story the deadliest of peckers. On the heels of a report from the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, which is the CDC, about backyard chickens spreading illness to people in 49 states, comes a harrowing tale about a woman who was killed by a rooster that delivered a lethal strike to a varicose vein in her leg. According to the report, which was published in a journal for forensic science, for medicine and pathology, the 76-year-old had been collecting eggs at her home in Australia when the aggressive rooster attacked her lower left leg. The woman collapsed, and the autopsy later revealed there were 2 small lacerations in her leg, including one on a varicose vein. Varicose vein. Old lady, varicose vein, a cock with a big pecker, and she bled out. I don't know why that's a punchline. I think the stories got mixed up or something, but can you imagine that? Can you imagine? You're just outside feeding your chickens. Here you go. All you little cluckers. Here's some feed for you. And all of a sudden, one rooster has to be the big cock, comes running up and assaults you with his pecker. And then you bleed to death. There you are, just laid down on the ground, surrounded by eggs and chickens and this rooster. Now, what other farm animals have you got that are going to come over and find your corpse there and start eating you? If you got pigs, they'll never find your body. I'm just saying, farms are deadly and dangerous places to be. Okay? So watch yourself. Because they're dangerous. I'm just saying that they're a little bit dangerous. Anyway, we're going to get some more music for your Vajir holes because today, you know, I'm feeling a little beat down by technology. I'm feeling a little under the thumb of the universe. So maybe some people can call in with some funny stories at 313-444-8919. Again, that's 313-444-8919. Today, we are not broadcasting from the other side of Planet Chaos. We are smack dab right in the center of Planet Chaos. Okay? So we're going to go ahead and throw some more music into your Vajir holes, as I said. And I'm assuming that the reason why I can't get on Facebook is because some politicians said something to somebody and now everybody's being blocked again or something. I don't know. So it's all about Dirty Politicians. That's the name of the song, Dirty Politician, by Big Motor Gasoline on the Attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from Outer Space.
your policy where the sun don't shine. We don't need your war. Yeah!
the show live at 313-444-8919. Again, that number is
313-444-8919.
Bus commercials, definitely.
Or you can jump in the chat room at alienxradio.com. It's the attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space.
Awesome.
All right, everybody, we are up against our first break. That's right, it's almost time to take a short break and pause in the action for station identification and a moment for Alien Stone to calm the hell down. I tell you what, man, nothing gets on my nerves more. And this is the thing that's really weird, is people say, well, if it's out of your hands, Alien Stone, it's something you can't control, then why do you let it bother you so much? That's the stuff that does bother me the most. Stuff I can't control. There's a tech issue going on. Facebook doesn't know what's going on. Everything's all intertwined and screwed up, and I have control over zero of it. If I can't control any of it and I can't do what I want to do because I can't figure it out, that's when I get most frustrated and upset. Even if the problem is something I can't fix but I can identify, at least then I know why I can't do what it is I'm trying to do. Then I can find the people that can fix it. But right now, it's a big question mark floating in the ether. Nobody knows what's going on. So, anyway, we're going to take a short break, pause the action for station identification. Still coming up, the Scots versus the Swedes in an ultimate game of hide and seek. We'll also talk about how Yoda enters politics, and we're going to figure out how to turn plastic into water. All of that when we come back in the second half of hour number 1 of the Attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from Outer Space. Right now, it is time to bring you up to date with what's happening in the world with our weekly news update from NPR.
And now your weekly news update from NPR.
Broadcasting directly into your brain.
I've always listened to it.
Live from NPR News in Washington, I'm Giles Snyder. Purdue Pharma, the company that makes OxyContin, has filed for bankruptcy. The move comes as part of a negotiated settlement designed to compensate communities struggling with opioid addiction. North Country Public Radio's Brian Mann reports.
Purdue Pharma played a unique role pushing prescription opioid medications into the mainstream, marketing OxyContin aggressively while downplaying its risks. Its owners, members of the Sackler family, became rich, worth roughly $13 billion, according to Forbes magazine. Under a structured bankruptcy plan approved by the company's board Sunday, the Sacklers are expected to give up ownership of the firm, along with $3 billion of their private wealth. In theory, much of that money will go to help people struggling with addiction, though a plan for how the money will be distributed isn't yet in place. More than a dozen state attorneys general say they'll sue the Sackler family directly in an effort to make them forfeit more of the private fortune they built selling OxyContin. Brian Mann, NPR News.
General Motors factories across the nation are shut down today. More than 49,000 United Auto workers began a strike last night. Michigan Radio's Tracy Sambleton reports on what led union workers to walk off the job.
Union leaders say contract talks failed to resolve multiple issues, including wage increases, health care benefits, reopening closed plants, and permanent jobs for temporary workers. Michelle Krebs is an analyst with Auto Trader. She thinks GM will weather the strike fairly easily.
If it's not a long strike, and I wouldn't expect that it would be, it shouldn't be damaging because General Motors can always make up that production that it's lost.
GM says it's disappointed by the decision to strike and says it offered workers a fair contract. For NPR News, I'm Tracy Sambleton.
New York Governor Andrew Cuomo was pushing for action against the sale of flavored e-cigarettes amid growing health concerns linked to vaping.
Vaping is dangerous. It's addicting millions of young people to nicotine at a very early age. Some would argue earlier than cigarettes.
Cuomo says he expects state health authorities to issue emergency regulations this week. Michigan passed a similar ban earlier this month And President Trump proposed a federal ban last week. Leading e-cigarette maker Juul says it is reviewing Cuomo's announcement, but agreed with the need for action. The company stopped selling flavored products in retail stores last year. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson told reporters today that he's feeling cautious ahead of Brexit talks with European Commission President Jean-Claude Juncker. The two are meeting in Luxembourg today. Johnson has said that he can strike a revised Brexit deal with the European Union in time for talks for the UK's departure at the end of October. However, the EU says it is still waiting for firm proposals from the UK. And from Washington, this is NPR News.
Ashley's of Westland, the best for food, friends, and entertainment. Stop in on Mondays for $5 burgers, Tuesdays for $3 pints and trivia, Wednesdays for $5 pizza, and don't forget to stop by on Saturday nights to visit our own DJ Wild Bill and Sporkle Live. Order delivery online with Grubhub and Uber Eats at ashleys.com. Ashley's of Westland is located at 7525 Wayne Road in Westland, Michigan. Ashley's of Westland, Michigan's premier multi-tap.
Captain, I'm picking up a strange anomaly. Mr. Tukok, what is it? It appears to be a primitive form of communication that is traveling through space, Captain. Captain, I've traced the source of the transmission. On screen. Damn it, Jim. That's Earth.
Captain, a signal's coming in.
On speaker.
The John LeBang Show is on every Saturday and Sunday at 8 p.m. right here on Alien X Radio.
Fascinating. I told you not to mess with the space-time continuum.
You got something to say? Don't be a bitch. Call into the show at 313-444-8919. Here we go! Or you can jump in the chat room at alienxradio.com. Broadcasting from beyond planet chaos directly into your vagir holes. It's the attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space.
The house is now on fire.
Welcome back to The Attack, everybody. It's The Attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space. And I am your host, Alien Stone. Just realized his mic is down too low. Okay, there we go. That's better. That's the first thing that's gone wrong today that I can control, people. Anyway, welcome to the show. We're cruising along at triple redunculous speeds. The gravitational plates are gravitating. The inertia canceller is canceling, and the deflector array is pretending like none of this shit is even happening. Okay? Well, it's trying to pretend. Anyway, coming up on the show this hour, still, we're going to talk about Yoda gets into politics and how we're going to turn plastic into water. That's like better than turning lead into gold, isn't it? Well, I guess it depends on how greedy you are, right? Hour number 2 will host a bunch of things as well, like the stolen coaster, the sports update from The Prospect, and how a headache is old school. And we're going to talk about an industrial sexual accident, as well as NASA chimes in on climate control. Or not climate control, climate change. Climate control. That all is coming up next hour. And in the third hour, a bunch of other stuff. We'll get to that. I'm not going to tell you everything. Too much, right? You can't process everything. You won't remember everything. When you're teaching somebody something, you only teach them a little bit at a time. Give them too much information, they retain none of it. Just saying. So before we get into music for your vagir holes, I do want to chime in on something real quick because I do know a little bit about the background of the laws and stuff, and you guys are being duped, okay? We've heard the governor talking of Michigan. We've heard the president. Well, I've heard people say what the president said. Whether or not he did, I don't know. But they're trying to ban all flavored e-cigarettes because there's an epidemic of kids getting a mysterious illness linked to vaping. Let me fade this music out of here for a second so that you can fully hear me, as I really want you to understand something here. Okay, they're using a law to ban a product which is going to put companies out of business, all of the stores out of business that sells them, because vape is like 50% of the business that smoke shops do. Okay, so their families are all going to go through hardships. There's going to be all kinds of issues because of this, all right? Now, there are some kids that are getting some mystery illnesses in the lungs, and they are vaping. Now, they have some evidence linking these issues that they're having, because they're not diseases necessarily, but they are issues they're having with their lungs. They've linked it to a vitamin E additive that they're putting into THC and CBD oil products That's not nicotine products. That's not your regular smoking vaping products. It's the THC and the CBD, which is derivative of marijuana products. They're putting the in some of those, not even all of them, in some of those, they're putting it in as a thickening agent. So basically, if you're going to smoke some oil, folks, and you look at the oil and it's real super thick, there might be an E additive in there. I'm just saying. This is all hearsay still because nobody has any real science on this. Everybody's all just talking about it because a lot of it is being fueled by the tobacco companies. Okay, they are paying politicians. I know you don't believe this. Some of you out there don't understand this, but yes, they give money to politicians when they're running for office. Here, this is because we know you're going to do a good job. No, it's here because we want you to process legislation later that benefits us. So the tobacco companies pay politicians a bunch of money so that later on they go out and attack who they need to attack. Now, who is costing the tobacco companies money? Vaping companies are. So let's attack the vaping companies. Okay, this is an additive in very few products which can be removed. Okay, now, why isn't all the people using these products getting this problem? Because it's more like an allergy. So are you going to ban peanut butter now because some people are allergic to peanuts? Okay, no, you can't do that. Now, why are young people getting these vape products? You have to be 18 years old to have them, and I think they're upping it to 21. Okay, well, then that means that it's being sold to them or it's being made available to them illegally the same way cigarettes are, the same way alcohol is, the same way illegal drugs are. Okay, so instead of going after the legal users of a legally created and legally sold product, instead of going after them, why don't you go after the people that illegally provide these products to young people, which, by the way, all of these illnesses are happening to young people, so it must have to do with young lungs. Okay? And it's happening at a much faster rate. No, it's not happening at a much faster rate. Lung cancer pops up a lot faster, and it's from cigarettes, which is perfectly legal to purchase at an adult age and still illegal to hand off to a child. Yet everybody gets little slaps on the wrist for doing that kind of stuff. Same thing with gun control, okay? Instead of going after legally purchased guns and people who legally own them and are responsible, why don't you just seriously, and I mean seriously, increase the punishment for having or utilizing a gun in a crime, whether it was fired or not? Hey, is that your gun? Yeah, it's my gun. Is it registered in your name? Why, no, it's not registered in my name. Well, that's illegal, so 10 years. I know that sounds harsh, but maybe that's going to deter a lot of people from having that illegal gun. Just by having it, you can get caught 10 years because you're not allowed to have it. It's not registered in your name. Well, I can't get it registered in my name. Why not? Because I can't pass the background check. Then you can't have the gun. That's why we have the background check. You're not allowed to have the gun. And this is coming from somebody who owns several guns. I own many guns, okay? I'm just saying. You should have the right to own a gun, but you need to prove you have the right to own the gun by not being a wackadoo and not being a felon and that kind of thing. So anyway, I got on a total rant there. I'd like to rant today because I'm in a bad mood today. I apologize. I'm in a bad mood, so I'm ranting. So anyway, it's funny that we're talking about guns here because I'm going to throw another brand spanking new submission into your vajir holes from a band called Leftover Bullets. And the tune is called Confused, just like I am about the entire mental process of the world today. So Leftover Bullets and Confused on the Attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from Outer Space.
consider drunk as a mind-expanding experience. It allows me to make new connections, you know. I ask new questions I never asked myself or others before I say things like, what makes a Teflon stick to the pan? Why does a cowboy wear two spurs? If one side of the horse goes, so does the other.
Waste not one, not
resistance is futile, but you can struggle if you like.
It's the attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space.
You got something to say? Say it, bucko. Call into the show live at 313-444-8919. Again, that number is 313-444-8919.
Welcome back to The Attack. It's The Attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space. I'm your host, Alien Stone. Like I said, if you want to watch the video today, it's not on Facebook Live because for some reason Facebook thinks that I am the creator and owner of Manicam and that I need to get approval for my app to be used on Facebook, even though it is being used currently, right now as we speak, by thousands of people on Facebook because they don't own the program, and neither do I. At least I haven't received any royalty checks. If I'm going to start getting some royalty checks, then I will go ahead and stay off of Facebook Live. Otherwise, they need to figure this out. But anyway, here we are, coming up on the end of hour number 1. And I had mentioned the story, and I want to go ahead and get to it. This is the Scots versus the Swedes in an ultimate game of hide and seek. Police shut down a 3,000-person game of hide and seek at an IKEA. Can you think of a better place? The one-stop shop for everything home-related and also the ideal place for a 3,000-person hide-and-seek game. After all, the average store is about 300,000 square feet, while the world's largest IKEA is 700,000 square feet. That's a big-ass building. And honestly, it's as easy to imagine endless hiding spots. It's got to think about all the places that you can hide in an IKEA. Have you ever been to an IKEA? You understand what I'm talking about. But unfortunately, for one Facebook group, their planned trip to an IKEA in Glasgow, Scotland. I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. Glasgow. I'm sure it's Glasgow. I don't know how to say that. I'm bad at accents. Y'all know I'm not even going to try it. Anyway, it's in Scotland. It was canceled after the word got out. 5 police officers were called to the store until evening. People are stopping everyone who looks like they are there for a game of hide and seek. What does somebody look like that has shown up for a game of hide and seek? I have no idea. Maybe they're dressed like a chair. I don't know. They can just sit down next to, I don't know. It's an IKEA. Dressed like a shelf. I don't know. Drawers. One person wrote on Facebook, after stopping by the store, the Scotsman reported the IKEA itself also had its own security personnel and no incidents were reported. So basically, people that were supposed to show up to play a big giant game of hide and seek, 3,000 people. That's a lot of people. I mean, now you're hiding behind other people. Okay, but you can be up to 700,000 square feet. That's a big building. So I'm sure there's a lot of places to hide. But you guys put it on Facebook. Word got out. The authorities were called. And your game was canceled. Much like this whole thing that's supposed to be happening with the Area 51, the raid on Area 51. You know that's not going to happen because you guys talked about it so much on Facebook. You know they're going to have like the entire military force out there. Okay, so the 10 or 15 people that are actually dumb enough to show up will be facing the full might of machine guns and tanks and anti-personnel devices of many kinds. I'm just saying. You're not getting in. So if you're going out there for a concert or out there just to buy, I don't know, an Alien t-shirt, then that's a good place to go, but I wouldn't make the run. So anyway, let's get on to this next one real quick. Saudi Arabia accidentally prints a textbook showing Yoda sitting next to the king. Yoda! Yes! The textbook I'm in! Okay. The United Nations was a historic... Well, it was... Okay, they were founding the United Nations. It was a historic moment that saw leaders from across the planet join together to commit to a more peaceful world. But most historians don't remember the Jedi Master Yoda being among them. The Saudi government is scrambling to withdraw a textbook. It's a history textbook that accidentally included a doctored photograph of, I'm going to get the names wrong, of King Faisal. I'm sure that's wrong. That sounds like a gay Broadway dancer. Faisal. I'm sure that's not it. Sitting, we're getting a phone call here. We're not supposed to get phone calls when I'm on the air. So anyway, accidentally including a doctored photograph of King Faisal sitting next to the little green Star Wars character. So, I mean, it looks really good, too, if you've seen the picture. It really looks like he's sitting there on the meeting. The picture was supposed to illustrate a section of the King's rule, but somehow the book's editor used the version that showed Yoda perched next to the monarch as he signed the UN Charter. So the mystery is that nobody really knows how it got in there. Now, they found out who made the picture. And he's like, yeah, I was commissioned to make this picture, but I sure as heck didn't put it into the textbook. So you need to find out who it was that did that. So they're still on a big struggle to find out who did that. They've already stopped production of the textbooks, and now they're printing new ones. Boy, it seems like the Saudi Arabian government just keeps messing up with technology, kind of like I do. Because recently they also went Facebook Live with a very important hearing, and somebody left the Instagram filters on, and every single person at this very important summit meeting had little kitty cat ears and noses with little whiskers. So, guys, if you're going to have your little sister film your important meetings with her cell phone, then perhaps you need to check on her filters and stuff and make sure that, everybody's, maybe just hire a professional company with a real camera. I don't know. Maybe that's a good idea. Anyway, it's time to take another short break. Pausing the action for station identification. Hour number 2 on the other side of this. It's the Attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from Outer Space.
Let's rock this joint.
Ashley's of Westland, the best for food, friends, and entertainment. Stop in on Mondays for $5 burgers, Tuesdays for $3 pints and trivia, Wednesdays for $5 pizza, and don't forget to stop by on Saturday nights to visit our own DJ Wild Bill and Sporkle Live. Order delivery online with Grubhub and Uber Eats at Ashley's.com. Ashley's of Westland is located at 7525 Wayne Road in Westland, Michigan. Ashley's of Westland, Michigan's premier multi-tap.
My God, what have I done? What have I done? Look at the turning wheel.
The Alignment, the latest CD from The Creeping Chaos, featuring Dead in the Water.
Dead in the water.
Beg for mercy and Under the Blade.
We live our lives under a blade.
Available now at iTunes, CD Baby, and Rock of Ages in Garden City.
One for the gas.
Oh, honey, what a wonderful surprise. A dozen roses and chocolates, a candlelit dinner, and now champagne and strawberries by the fire. You're so romantic.
What do you say we get a little closer?
Igor? That's right, Igor here with the final ingredient for love.
Igor's lube?
Nothing gets things moving and grooving like my lube, and it prevents chafing.
Thanks, Igor.
And don't forget, Igor's lube now comes in cherry, mint, and salmon flavor.
Igor's Lube. Get some today and get some tomorrow.
Are you looking for a way to get your message out there? Have you been looking for just the right way to advertise your business, website, or upcoming event? Have you thought about advertising on the radio but thought it would be too expensive? Well, you should try advertising on Alien X Radio. We have advertising packages for every budget starting as low as $30 per month. That's right, radio advertising for as little as $1 a day. You don't have a commercial? No problem. Our copywriting and production department can create a radio spot complete with voiceovers, sound effects, and music that's just right for your needs. And unlike other stations, the production is included. So what are you waiting for? Just visit www.alienxradio.com and click on the advertisers link to get a look at our packages and rates. Then contact us at advertising@alienxradio.com. That's advertising@alienxradio.com.
The views and opinions expressed in the following show do not necessarily represent those of this station or its sponsors.
Broadcasting from beyond planet chaos, directly into your Vajir holes, it's the attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space. You got something to say? Don't be a bitch. Call into the show at 313-444-8919. Or you can jump in the chat room at alienxradio.com.
Am I the meanest?
Alien Stone.
Am I the prettiest?
Alien Stone.
Am I the baddest mofo low down around this town?
Alien Stone.
But who am I?
Alien Stone.
Who am I?
Alien Stone.
I can't hear you.
Alien Stone.
The Shogun of Harlem.
All right, welcome everybody to hour number 2 of the attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space. Broadcasting live, well, usually on Facebook, not today, on YouTube, on alienxradio.com, and UG Media in the UK. Oh, man. Having fun with technology today. Anyway, got to play a little catch-up for you here. Got to take care of a story that I was supposed to talk to you about last hour. Just now getting around to it. Well, let me tell you also what's coming up the rest of this hour. Stolen roller coaster. What? That's right. We'll talk about a stolen roller coaster. Just think about that for a second. And how a headache is old school. What is the new excuse to get out of having sex? An industrial sexual accident. And then we're going to hear what NASA has to say about climate change. But first, let's go ahead and get to this. Students invent a bacteria. I don't know how you invent a bacteria, but they invent a bacteria that eats plastic from the oceans and turns it into water. That's right, you heard me. Water. The high pollution in the oceans is a big problem on the planet, according to a recent research. No kidding. It is likely that in the year 2050, and this is very odd for me to be able to wrap my head around this, but in the year 2050, we will find more plastic than fish in the waters of the seas. And for this reason, there are many people working to generate solutions to this problem, some very imaginative, to reverse this situation. Currently, the novelty is a bacterium developed by a couple of students they've been developing this project since their school years. They say since their school years. They're only 20 years old. So what do you mean since your school years? I mean a couple years ago? Crying out loud. Anyway, they started developing this product, and they have already been given $400,000 to move this thing forward because the science is there. They have already won 5 prizes thanks to this project. They became popular as they were the youngest to win the Perlman Science Prize. Now, that's a big deal. All thanks to this bacteria capable of transforming plastic into CO2 and water. The technology is used in 2 ways: to clean the beaches and also to produce raw materials for clothing. So that's just like a happy side effect. Like, oh yeah, we can also use it to make clothes. In case you don't want to clean up the world, we can just instead we can make G-strings and underwear. I guess I don't know, socks. It is practically impossible to make people stop using plastic. We need technology to break the material down, and everything becomes biodegradable. So that was their whole idea. It's like everything could be biodegradable. You just got to figure out how to break it down. Well, what scares me is what are you using to break it down, and what will the effects be on that on people in the waters? And I don't know. There's going to be a lot of research in this. Hopefully by 2050, when we're out there catching Tupperware cups instead of crappie. Anyway. The development of this technology is divided into 2 parts. First, the plastic is dissolved, which worries me, like I said, because acid doesn't dissolve plastic and rubber. And the enzymes as catalysts, whereby the plastic becomes highly manipulatable. That isn't even the word. I totally mistyped that and everything. It's supposed to be malleable. I don't know. I don't know what I typed. Anyway, these components are placed in a biodigester. There's a machine called a biodigester, people. It's a biodigester station where they have as if they were leftovers of food. So just like you have your compost thing out in the backyard where you put leftover food in there, they just kind of put this stuff in there, and they let it turn into this biomass, I guess, and that biomass then eats plastic. So I guess the whole idea is to put one of these things out in the water, whatever, and it pulls the water on one side, filtering out all the plastics that's in there and everything, and then melting it down and then genetically changing it into CO2 and water and then spitting it back out into the ocean. So eventually we're going to have a genetically engineered and modified ocean, and I don't know. I don't know. You know, every day they're coming up with these new man-made ways of doing things that are supposed to be done naturally. And I don't know what to think about this. What do y'all think? 313-444-8919. Again, that's 313-444-8919. Do you want bacteria eating plastic and then pooping out water in your oceans? I'm just wondering if that's what you really, really want. So anyway, we're going to get some music into your Vajiros right now. Whether or not you want that, I don't know. But we're going to do it anyway. And I'm thinking that Defy Theory. I haven't played them in a little while, so I'm going to rock some Defy Theory out into your Vajir holes, as well as some Sunkiller. So we've got Shadow Witch by Sunkiller coming up, but first, Devil in Disguise by Defy Theory on the Attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from Outer Space.
Cherry lip, she's on fire with a skinny jeans. Every girl will desire that wonder brown and fancy color purse with a bling. Diamonds everywhere, but with no wedding ring. Wow, she's just a devil in disguise. She'll trap you with those pretty eyes, so amazing. Think I'm going crazy. Her body kept me waiting. That sneaky little lady. Her poison makes my heart beat fast. A dirty upper class bitch. A dirty upper class bitch. She makes a living from her sexy lies. Worst of all, she even takes her time. Confidence is key when she is robbing your soul. Next you know you're on your own and she took it all. Wow. She's just a devil in disguise. She'll trap you with those pretty eyes, so amazing. Think I'm going crazy. Her body kept me waiting. A sneaky little lady. Her poison makes my heart beat fast. A dirty upper class bitch. 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 Devil in disguise. She'll trap you with those pretty eyes, so amazing. Think I'm going crazy. Her body kept me waiting. That sneaky little lady. Her poison makes my heart beat fast. The dirty upper class bitch.
Thank you for that lovely tune. That funky music will drive us till the dawn. Let's go, let's boogaloo till we puke.
move like a baboon with two corrupt feet.
So many months gone by since I first looked into your eyes. I fought the shadows by, drank from the hell dog's wine, all for the lust and the lie. And you stole my deep You stole my deep I don't know why you drink me the shadows by, drink from the hell dog's wine, all for the lust and the lie. And you stole my deep You stole my deep
Call into the show live at 313-444-8919. Again, that number is 313-444-8919. Or you can jump in the chat room at alienxradio.com. It's the attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space.
Ah, yes. That sounds actually me punching technology directly in the mouth. Whoosh. Wow, big old fat lip on technology. It'd be awesome, wouldn't it? Because God knows they've been beating me up for a while. Anyway, it is now time for our punchlines. Like I said, I don't really have punchlines today. All I have is a few stories that I have split up amongst where the punchlines are supposed to go. So, ladies and gentlemen, I give you roller coaster stolen from Ohio Fairgrounds. Let your mind think about that for a second. A roller coaster. Not somebody's purse, not a car, not someone's trailer. Well, I gotta take that back. Because now that I get into the story, let me read it to you so you can actually see what I'm talking about. Deputies in Union County are asking for help locating a roller coaster stolen from the fairgrounds. According to a Union County Sheriff's Office, on August 28th, a Go Gator Carnival roller coaster was reported stolen from the fairgrounds located at 845 North Main Street in Marysville. The roller coaster, which is about 20 feet in length, was on a purple and green trailer. So, okay, it wasn't set up. Wasn't like they came in and totally disassembled and was able to get... I mean, that would be a lot of time, right? I mean, how would you get away with all that? But it was on a purple and green trailer and has alligator-designed train cars. So it's not going to be hard to see it. You know, you see this trailer, you're going to know, hey, that's the roller coaster they're talking about. The trailer had a rear license plate of 22-1246A with a Maine registration. Deputies are searching for a white Dodge Ram 2500 or larger model with a flatbed that was pictured pulling the stolen trailer. So they seen it when it was coming out at an intersection of SR 31 and Mill Road at about 7:10 p.m. on August 27th. So if you can remember back to that exact time and you were at that, maybe you can give them a little information, you think? The truck had no visible front license plate. Deputies asked anyone with information on the missing roller coaster to call Deputy Kevin Regano. I'm bad with people's names. Kevin Regano at 937-645-4110 or Lieutenant Mike Justice. Now that sounds like a cop name, right? I'm Mike Justice. Taking a bite out of crime. My name used to be McGruff. And you call him at 937-645-4130 and say, hey, found your roller coaster. Where was it? It was up your butt, you know it. Oh, then they would come and arrest you, so don't do that. Anyway, that has been the punchline. Damn, just punched me right in my face. All right, so anyway, I don't even know where we're at on this thing here. Oh, it's about time for music for the Vajir holes once again. We still have upcoming this hour a weekly sports update from the Prospect. I'm going to talk to you about how a headache is old school and what is the new excuse for getting out of sex. And an industrial sex accident leads to big benefits. And what is NASA's take on climate change? All that still coming up this hour, with a whole nother hour coming up after that. But right now, I have to move on over here to this list of music over here that is all propped, ready, and greased up, ready to enter your Vajir holes. So I think that Kill Set sounds like a band that I just might have to play because I'm randomly picking something anyway. And Cold Victim is the name of the tune you're listening to. The Attack of the Monday Morning Maycast from Outer Space.
Hi, this is Alien X Radio. Who's calling?
Oh, Vinny! Vinny, you know good. You know good. I hear you earlier. You make fun of us Asian people. When you say Gojira in our pants. That's no funny. That's no funny, Vinny. Because it's so funny.
But he's so big and you're so little.
Because we don't have Gojira in our pants, Vinny. We have very tiny reverb.
Making you gate.
Yeah, I freaking love that jam, man. Band Made, the name of the band, Thrill, the name of the tune. Recommend you check it out, man. Just a whole bunch of really super smoking hot chicks in a band, just rocking it out from, I can't remember if it's Japan or China. It's definitely one or the other. But it's an amazing tune right there, man. Just rocks it. I love the tone of the guitar, everything, man. Just a great, great song. Anyway, it's time to take a short break and pause in the action for station identification. We'll be back with the second half of the Attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from Outer Space right after this, so go nowhere.
Broadcasting directly into your brain.
And now your weekly sports update with the Prospect.
Welcome to the weekly sports update with the Prospect on Alien X Radio. Antonio Brown. A week ago, that's all I will have to say, and a wave of unfortunate incidents will soon hit you from every angle. Well, here's another one that will very likely knock you off your feet. A lawsuit has been filed on the wide receiver alleging him of committing lewd acts, including sexual assault on a former trainer going back as far as 2017. Now, I'll spare you the details of the events and the lawsuit, but I will say that this is, in my personal opinion, one of the most heinous crimes ever done by a professional athlete. And of course, people are voicing their opinions on the matter and on Brown, and with all that he has went through, it's fair to say that they aren't holding back. Now, it was reported by ESPN earlier last week as a result of the allegation that the league would place Brown on the exempt list, but now they decided against it, making him eligible for the Patriots Week 2 game against the Dolphins. If you hated the team before, there's another reason to hate them more. Team USA will not be getting gold in this year's FIBA tournament, but you already knew that from last week's report. Now it's a certainty with their 87-74 win over Poland to finish 7th and out of medal contention. This marks the lowest finish by a U.S. team ever in international play. A team that's graced our presence with a dream team in the Olympics has fallen to the lowest ever, and according to Coach Greg Popovich in a press conference, there's nothing to be ashamed of, saying, quote, if you don't win, some people will play the blame game, end quote, and calling critics placing the blame on the team's inability to win a gold medal, quote, premature. Strong words coming from someone that the NBA critics are looking to win every single game and capture the title every single year. Well, tune in next week for more sports. For Alien X Radio, I am the Prospect. Say until next time, Prospect out.
Ashley's of Westland, the best for food, friends, and entertainment. Stop in on Mondays for $5 burgers, Tuesdays for $3 pints and trivia, Wednesdays for $5 pizza, and don't forget to stop by on Saturday nights to visit our own DJ Wild Bill and Sporkle Live. Order delivery online with Grubhub and Uber Eats at ashleys.com. Ashley's of Westland is located at 7525 Wayne Road in Westland, Michigan. Ashley's of Westland, Michigan's premier multi-tap. Me and my lady want to get busy tonight. What do you recommend? Igor's Lube. I got my fist stuck in a gravy boat. Any ideas on how I can get it out? Igor's Lube.
The hinges on my cabinet doors are squeaky. What should I use?
Igor's Lube.
I got dry, flaky elbows.
Igor's Lube.
Okay, but what if I'm being held hostage by a supervillain in an underground lair with a ticking time bomb and only seconds left until detonation? What would save me then, huh?
Igor's Lube.
That's right. Everything is smoother with Igor's Lube.
Igor's Lube. Get some today and get some tomorrow.
This portion of the show is being brought to you by Ed's all-new chocolate chip cigarettes. The only cigarettes that give you cavities while you're waiting for the lung cancer to set in.
Resistance is futile, but you can struggle if you like. It's the Attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from Outer Space. You got something to say? Say it, bucko. Call into the show live at 313-444-8919. Again, that number is 313-444-8919.
All right, welcome back to the Attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from Outer Space. Did you feel the turn? The show has taken a turn. It always takes a turn. Remember, it's a 3-hour show with triple redunculous speed. Triple redunculous speeds. So that means there's a turning point. So we're headed back towards planet Earth right now. You didn't feel that because of the awesome inertia canceller that we have installed here on the mothership. That's right. Triple redunculus speeds, gravitational plates gravitating, inertia canceller canceling, and alien stone's mouth doing whatever it wants. Blah, 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 blah. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into the second half of the broadcast, shall we? There's more music, of course, coming up for your Vajir holes, as well as an industrial sexual accident, and what does NASA say about climate change? That's all still this hour. But before we get into music for your Vajir holes, let's go ahead and do a story real quick. I'm sure you've heard this old, I don't know if it's an old wives' tale. I'm sure a lot of women actually do this. You know, the guy climbs into bed, or sometimes it's the other way around. It could be, you know, I'm not going to say it's only women or it's only men, you know, because that's bull crap. But I have a headache. I have a headache. We can't do it. Why? Because I have a headache. Okay, well, that's an old excuse, okay? And, you know, yeah, we can't say you don't have a headache because you might have a headache, even if we know you don't have a headache. You know, we can't prove it. But anyway, this is the new school, okay? You have been put to shame with your little headache, okay? You need to be more imaginative. You need to really work on your game if you don't want to get any from, like, especially an aggressive male, okay? Now let me get into this. I'm going to read this. It says, female dragonflies fake their death to avoid males. They fake their death! Everyone has those nights when their significant other climbs into bed, and for one reason or another, they decide to fake being asleep or have a headache to avoid talking or doing other stuff. Well, female dragonflies take this kind of sneaky rejection to the next level, faking their own deaths to avoid having interaction with aggressive males. So, scientists recently captured this phenomenon on video for the very first time while observing moorland hawker dragonflies in the Swiss Alps. In the newly released footage, the female is seen freezing mid-air and plummeting to the ground, where she lies motionless until the male leaves. So it isn't like she's sitting on a leaf somewhere and she just falls over and says, oh, I'm dead. No, she's flying and just goes, and falls to the ground, splat, okay, and just lays there. Male comes down, looks, and he says, should I? No, probably not. And flies away. When researchers approached the females, they immediately flew away, showing that they remain alert throughout the entire fake death sequence. So yeah, they are actually faking their own death. This behavior, which has been previously observed in 5 other species, is called death faking. No kidding. That's the scientific term you came up with? You couldn't come up with a better one than death faking, huh? All right. Faking death. Either way. It's believed to have developed as a survival tactic, since female dragonflies often risk injury or death when when coerced into mating. Now, that's a horrible way of saying coerced into mating. That means grabbed, thrown on the ground, and taken. Okay, there's another word for that. In a lot of dragonflies, males try to seize the female with or without consent. A biologist who recently published a study on the phenomenon told National Geographic the fittest, that is, the fastest, most powerful male is usually the one who mates. So, dragonflies are dicks. They're out there just, they're out here raping everybody, man. They're just grabbing all these other, they're just falling over, pretending they're dead, dropping out of the sky, landing on the ground, nope, dead. Easier than getting pounded by an aggressive male dragonfly, I guess. Huh. So I guess the women dragonflies are flying around your face. The men are always, in the other area because they just got one thing on their mind. So yeah, no longer can you fake a headache. You got to fake death. Like walking through the kitchen, just fall over. Bam! Hit the ground, splat. And then wait until he goes to work. And then get up and go about your day. Okay? You can't say, I have a headache. I got a little pressure in my head. By Dead in 5. Pressure Head on the attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space.
Misery, I can't feel pain at all. I didn't leave my country.
never kill somebody. Not unless they piss me off.
Tied up in my thoughts, these games inside my head. The strings attached are controlling me instead. You can't handle it, just stay inside. Am I okay? Will I make it tonight? Intimidate me no more. Sedate me no more. I've gotta break free. You don't control me. It's a brand new day as I lift up my head. Shine your light down on the living dead. Won't live in fear. Open up the gates. Breathe life into me. I will dominate. Too much noise. What am I listening for? Lights flash in my eyes as I pace the floor. I'm not your puppet. This ain't a nightmare. You don't control me. I won't live in fear. Intimidate me no more. Sedate me no more. I've gotta break free. You don't control me. It's a brand new day as I lift up my head. Shine your light down on the living dead. Won't live in fear. Open up the gates. Breathe life into me. I will dominate.
Or you can jump in the chat room at alienxradio.com. Broadcasting from beyond planet chaos directly into your Vajir holes. It's the attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space.
Come on.
All right, welcome back to the attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space. I'm your host, Alien Stone. Just about to round out hour number 2 of the attack and hour number 3 on the way. Let me give you a little hint of what's coming up next hour. We got Let's Fight Those Storms. That's our wackadoo of the week. We'll let you know what this guy's idea is on what to do about hurricanes. Of course, plenty of music for your Vajir holes. I don't know what we're going to do about punchlines because I don't think I have any punchlines. I got all these stories in front of me, so something's got to fit into that hole. I just don't know where it goes. I think that's... I don't know. I just don't know. Like I said, not prepared for the show. Construction going on in the mothership everywhere. I don't know if you're aware of this or not, but we're doing construction, which doesn't help with the technical issues at all. On top of the actual equipment not being where it's supposed to be, having to do crazy stuff to make everything work. And then me being all sporadic in my mind because I wasn't going to do a show today. We weren't going to have a show, but I couldn't sleep. So I woke up, put together a show for 3 hours right before going on the air. So, sue me! Coming up yet this hour, before we move on to hour number 3, industrial sexual accident, and what is NASA's take on climate change? That's what we're supposed to be talking about right now. Those two stories. So let's go ahead and get to it. Let's start with this one. A sexual industrial accident. Is that a thing? It is now. All right, so anyway, married engineer who died of a heart attack after having sex with another woman on a business trip is, quote, a victim of industrial accident, end quote. The French court rules. Really? Well, let's read into this. This bizarre decision means that the company which employs the man, named only as Xavier X, really? That's what you're calling him, Xavier X? Okay, that's a fake name. No, really? It's like a stripper name, but not. Will now have to pay years of compensation to his family. So the company's got to go deep in their pocket and pay years of compensation to the family of a man who dies of a heart attack while cheating on his wife on a business trip. Let's read on. The dead man was working on behalf, well, not as a dead man, but I guess when he was alive, he was working on behalf of his bosses at the railway construction firm when he hooked up with a local woman. So he probably went out to a bar, talked a bunch of crap, lied, took his wedding ring off, and went to the hotel with her. However, he was later found dead in his hotel room shortly after the pair had romped. That's a nice way of saying it. The French authorities stated the death should be classified as an accident, which entitles his family to benefits from both the state and his employer. That means his dependents will receive a monthly payout of up to 80% of his salary until his due retirement age. So 80% of his salary will be given to his family until he would have been of retirement age. And then after that, the company will still have to contribute towards his pension. This is an amazing... This would never happen in the States. This would never happen here. I'm just saying, because the corporate run, they would just simply pay the judges off, and they would be like, no, we can't do that. It's unconstitutional. They come up with some bull crap reason. But anyway, it would never happen. An earlier court ruled that a sexual encounter is an act of normal life, like taking a shower or eating a meal. Well, one you definitely can do before and after, and one of them you can definitely do before and after, and actually both of those you can do during. Just saying. Anyway, a decision which was upheld by an appeal court. So they're basically saying that you're on a business trip, so therefore you are being covered by your company. Your company is responsible for you while you're on this business trip. That's what they're saying. And he wasn't doing anything he wasn't doing anything abnormal. He was doing something that's considered a normal act. Having sex is a normal act. He had a heart attack while having sex, which was a normal act, while on a business trip, and now they have to pay his family 80% of his salary until such time that he would have been of retirement age, and then contribute to his pension. That's amazing to me. I wonder how long it will take for the appeals and everything to go. I don't know how things work in France. I don't know. It says French court, so like I said, it would never happen here. Okay, because the company would just pay whoever they needed to pay to make it go away. And that's exactly what would happen. That's amazing to me, though, that somebody would even try to come up with that as a verdict in a courtroom. It's like, who's going to look at them with a straight face and go, really? Wow. Anyway, let's move on. Here's another one. I love to read this one. This one is going to piss off a lot of people, so I'm just going to read it. I'm going to try not to interject too much, but I'm going to read it the way it was written. I did not change any of this, okay? NASA admits that climate change occurs because of changes in Earth's solar orbit and not because of SUVs and fossil fuels. For more than 60 years, the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, known as NASA, has known that the changes occurring to planetary weather patterns are completely natural and normal. But the space agency, for whatever reason, has chosen to let man-made global warming hoax persist and spread to the detriment of human freedom. I did not write this. I'm reading it. I agree with it, but I'm reading it. It was the year 1958, to be precise, when NASA first observed that changes in our solar orbit of the Earth, along with alterations to the Earth's axis tilt, are both responsible for what climate scientists today have dubbed as warming or cooling, depending on their agenda. In no way, shape, or form are humans warming or cooling the planet by driving SUVs, eating beef, or just doing any of this. We are not causing this to happen. If we weren't here, guess what? It would be happening. I'm not supposed to be interjecting. I'm sorry. Let me go back to reading. But NASA says, thus far, NASA has thus far failed to set the record straight and has instead chosen to silently sit back and watch as liberals freak out about the world's supposedly ending 12 years because of too much livestock, too many plastic straws, that kind of thing. In the year 2000, NASA did publish information on its Earth Observatory website about I'm going to get this guy's name wrong, the Milankovitch, there we go. I'm going to say that. The Milankovitch climate theory, revealing that the planet is in fact changing due to extraneous factors that have absolutely nothing to do with human activity. But again, this information has yet to go mainstream some 19 years later, which is why deranged climate-obsessed leftists have now begun to claim that we really only have 18 months left before the planet dies from an excess of carbon dioxide. So, yeah, we are that close to where they said everything's going to come to a screeching halt based on their data that was supposedly shared by scientists all over the world. Oh, I'm interjecting again. Let me go back. The truth, however, is much more along the lines what Serbian astrophysicist, and that was that guy's name, Milankovitch, that's his name, after whom this is so stupid, after who the Milankovitch climate theory is named, no kidding, he proposed about how the seasonal and latitudinal variances of solar radiation, I am not a scientist, I can't read this stuff, solar radiation that hit the Earth in different ways and at different times have the greatest impact on Earth's changing climate patterns. So, go ahead and drive your SUV if you want, and go ahead and feed your cows beans and let them fart out there, whatever, okay, use your hairspray, do whatever you want, okay, all you're doing is creating garbage, but you're not creating heat, okay? We're not, according to NASA, All of the climate change that is happening is normal. It has happened in cycles in the past and will happen in cycles in the future. So we have not impacted it at all, according to NASA. So I don't know what else to tell you guys. Do you believe NASA or do you believe conspiracy theorists? Do you believe me? I have no idea. We're going to take a short break and pause in the action for station identification. We will be back with our number 3 of the Attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from Outer Space. Go nowhere.
Ashley's of Westland, the best for food, friends, and entertainment. Stop in on Mondays for $5 burgers, Tuesdays for $3 pints and trivia, Wednesdays for $5 pizza, and don't forget to stop by on Saturday nights to visit our own DJ Wild Bill and Sporkle Live. Order delivery online with Grubhub and Uber Eats at Ashley's.com. Ashley's of Westland is located at 7525 Wayne Road in Westland, Michigan. Ashley's of Westland, Michigan's premier multi-tap.
Donna, is that a bottle of Igor's lube?
I wish you would just ring up my stuff without all the questions.
I heard there are millions of uses for that stuff.
I only have one.
Have you ever tried playing a naked game of Twister all covered in this stuff?
Can't say that I have.
This stuff will really help to get you out of a tight spot. Or into one, if you know what I mean. Huh?
Are you almost finished?
Just waiting for the bag boy.
Igor?
And don't forget that my lube comes in 1 ounce, 5 ounce, 1 pint, and 1 gallon sizes. So you can feel free to try out that naked twister thing.
Uh-huh. Now see, I told you.
Igor's Lube. Get some today and get some tomorrow.
FCC, you know what that means?
Yeah, it means Federal Communications Commission. They can drive around and triangulate wherever the hell a radio signal is coming from.
Yeah, so fuck it, right?
The views and opinions expressed in the following show do not necessarily represent those of this station or its sponsors.
Give us some static! You got something to say? Don't be a bitch. Call into the show at 313-444-8919. You have been beamed aboard and are now inside the mothership
For the Attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from Outer Space.
When's the last time you had a good time? Broadcasting from beyond planet chaos, directly into your vajir holes.
Am I the meanest?
Alien Stone.
Am I the prettiest?
Alien Stone.
Am I the baddest mofo low down around this town?
Alien Stone.
But who am I?
Alien Stone.
Who am I?
Alien Stone.
I can't hear you.
Alien Stone.
The Shogun of Harlem.
All right, welcome back to The Attack. It's hour number 3 of The Attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from Outer Space, Alien X Radio, UG Media, Facebook Live, and YouTube Live. That's right. Greasing the wheels for your Monday morning and the beginning of your work week with a little Igor's Lube. Check them out on Facebook and at www.igorslube.com. Anywho, where'd all my paperwork go? There's all my paperwork. We got more music for the Vajir Holes, of course. Let me tell you what's coming up this hour. Music for the Vajir Holes. We'll, of course, have another weekly news update from NPR. It's probably the best news you get all week, actually. And I'm going to talk to you about a time traveler who had some predictions for this year, and I'm still waiting. Tell you about that. That's right, a time traveler. I said a time traveler. I know what you're saying. And then the rest of this, we're just going to make up as we go. Other than great music for your Vajir Holes, I do this week have a wackadoo of the week. And that is also being brought to you this week by Igor's Lube at igorslube.com. Look for and like Igor's Lube on Facebook Get some today and get some tomorrow at igorslube.com. Let's go ahead and get this hour underway, shall we? It's enough dancing.
And now your wackadoo of the week.
Can't see how they haven't come up with some kind of way to combat these storms yet. They keep saying, 2 days ago, 3 days ago, oh, it said this, but it's going to hit all this warm weather. All this warm weather and warm water. We have a Navy. Why don't the Navy come and drop ice in the warm water so it can't get going as fast as it's going? There's got to be ways to combat this instead of just pointing at the thing and saying, well, it's now it's getting worse. Yeah, we know it's getting worse, but you tell us, oh, it's the warm weather. Oh, it's the wind. Well, we have an Air Force. Drive some Air Force planes around to get the winds going the opposite way. The Navy to go in circles to fight it the other way.
So, your answer is to drop a bunch of ice in the water and then fly in circles against the wind. Against the wind. So, basically, we're going to call in the cavalry, and it's Bob Seger. Is this what you're trying to tell me? You're all just dodging Raindrops by Brad Curtis and the Sometimes Six Band on the Attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from Outer Space.
Take your step, watch your way, keep your head in the game. Can you see what you want? Keep your eye on the prize. Dodging raindrops, dodging raindrops. Sometimes a ray of light seems so far away, and sometimes the night goes on for days. Can you see what you want? Keep your eye on the prize.
Anytime the government does anything, everybody gets all freaked out, goes into their radiation tube, seals it off, and has booby traps and weapons pointed in every direction so nobody will steal their canned food.
I've got to run to keep from hiding, but I'm not gonna let them catch me, no. Not gonna let them catch the midnight rider. I got to run, keep from hiding, and I'm bound to keep on hiding. I've got one more silver dollar, but I'm not gonna let 'em catch me, no. Not gonna let 'em catch the midnight rider. I don't own the clothes I'm wearing, and the road goes on forever. And I've got one more silver dollar, but I'm not gonna let 'em catch me, no. Not gonna let 'em catch the midnight rider. But I'm not gonna let 'em catch me, no. Not gonna let 'em catch the midnight rider. I'm gonna pass the port of Karen. Some old bed I'll soon be sharing. I've got one more silver dollar, but I'm not gonna let 'em catch me, no. Not gonna let 'em catch the midnight rider. No, I'm not gonna let 'em catch me, no. Not gonna let 'em catch the midnight rider. Midnight rider.
You rock your face off.
I'll rise above what you destroy.
rock your face off.
They did rock your face off. That was Pound, the name of the tune, and that did pound your face, didn't it? Monster was the name of the tune. And hey, normally right about now in the show, we would come back with punchlines number 3. Well, I told you at the beginning of the show that I don't have punchlines number 3. So what I'm going to do for you is it's kind of a tribute to something that I used to do a long time ago. It was a segment called The Clone Chamber, where I would play the original version of a song, then we would put it in the clone chamber, it would get altered, and then we would listen to it played by another band in a different way. Well, I don't have a clone chamber ready, but what I'm going to do is basically the same thing. I'm going to play a tune for you that, is it going to let me load it? Don't tell me it's not going to let me load it after all that. Okay, there it goes. All right, no, that's the wrong one, though. Oh, don't even try to tell me that you're not going to let me load that. I will freak out. Okay, it is going to let me load it. All right, that's cool. All right, anyway, there was a song that came out many, many years ago by a lady by the name of Casey Scott. The song was called 7th of November. And I bought the CD, and I liked the song. It was a very unique and interesting song. It's very low-key. And at the time, I was in a band called MGO. And in the band MGO, we decided to make a remake of it. So I'm going to let you hear Casey Scott's version of 7th of November, immediately followed by MGO's version of 7th of November. And you tell me if I did a good job at remaking it or not. Anyway, check it out. Casey Scott on the Attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from Outer Space.
If this song was a book, it would be 15 pages long, have a fake gold binding, and big, bold, easy reader typeface. If this song was a bowl of soup, it'd be Campbell's vegetable alphabet, all lukewarm and orange, with half the letters missing.
So you'd like to smother me just like the other he thought he was doing me good. But I thought, you said, I guess you misunderstood me. I don't wanna be cruel, I don't wanna be cruel, I don't wanna be cruel. I don't wanna be cruel, I don't wanna be cruel. There's something about subtlety you could never hear, so I guess I'm gonna have to make it very clear, dear. I can see you haven't the capacity to ever really be near me. And you say, yeah, sure, well, that's what you think. And I say, yeah, well, that is what I think. But I don't wanna be cruel, I don't wanna be cruel, I don't wanna be cruel. I don't wanna be cruel, but I don't wanna see you fool yourself into thinking that everything's cool, 'cause everything's not cool. But I thought, but you said, but I thought, but you said. I think you're a smart man, I think you're a nice man, I think you're a bright man, so why don't you go ahead and shine your light, but not on me. Say, I like the dark, I've always liked the dark. I'm not frightened of the dark, I'm not frightened of love, but there's no reason to assume the times I let you in my room meant as much to me as they did to you, apparently. But I don't wanna be cruel, I don't wanna be cruel, but I don't wanna see you fool yourself into thinking that everything's cool, 'cause everything's not cool. But I thought,
And the nice girls, I know some nice girls. And the nice girls, they got nothing better to do than to worry about you. So go find yourself a nice girl. There's plenty of them out there. But me, I'm made of ice, dear. It'll just get colder from here. So don't try and lay your head on my cold shoulder. Cry, remember, it's only the 7th of November.
Casey Scott and 7th of November, coming off, I believe it was her no, the album was called Creep City, actually. Creep City is the name of the album. And I was just very entranced by that song way back in the day when I finally came across this song. And me and my friends, we had just started learning how to play instruments. And my friend Ace, who is a fantastic bass player today, was just picking up the bass for the very first time. We didn't have a drummer. I programmed everything on a computer. And so, be very... nice when listening to this. Remember, we're all just starting out, but I decided to do a remake of this song a little bit differently. So check out the MGO version of 7th of November. MGO stood for the Majestic Gargoyle Orchestra. Worst name we ever had in the history of every band we've ever been in. Anyway, 7th of November by MGO on the Attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from Outer Space.
This song was a book, it'd be 15 pages long, have a faded gold binding with big, bold, easy reader typeface. If this song was a bowl of soup, it'd be Campbell's vegetable alphabet, all lukewarm and orange. The letters missing. So you like to smother me just like the other she thought she was doing me good. But I thought you said, I guess you misunderstood me. I don't wanna be something about subtlety you can never hear, so I'm gonna have to make it pretty clearly. I can't see you having the capacity to ever really get near me. And yeah, you say, sure, well, that's what you think. And I say, yeah, well, that is what I think. I don't wanna be cruel, I don't wanna be in my not a nice boy. Well, you know those nice boys. You know those nice boys, they're never cruel. The nice boys, know the nice boys, and the nice boys, and the nice boys, nothing better to do than to worry about you. So go find yourself a nice boy. There's plenty of them out there, but me, I'm made of ice. It'll just get colder from here. You don't try to lay your head down on my cold shoulder. Cry, remember, it's only the 7th of
I couldn't even tell you how long ago it was when we recorded that, when we rewrote that song. I mean, obviously, the music was completely rewritten. I mean, same notes, yes, but completely different feel to the tune. Anyway, it was a very, very long time ago, and I do want to thank you for putting up with that.
Call into the show.
Oh, wait, that's not supposed to be playing in the background at all right there. Let's play what we're supposed to play, which is this. There we go. Anyway, it's time now to take a short break, pause in the action for station identification, and time to introduce you to our sponsors. We are going to come back with what we call the home stretch. That's the final 30 minutes of the show. Coming up still, we're going to talk about a time traveler, quote-unquote time traveler, who made some predictions for 2019, and we're running out of time. So I just want to let you guys know what you think of his predictions. And do you think that he's crazy? And if these actually happen, what would you think about life going forward in a world that he has predicted? I'll tell you about that when we come back. And I guess I'm going to go find myself a very classic episode of Just a Few Questions to stuff into your Vajir holes at the end of the episode. But for right now, short break, pause in the action for station identification. We will be back right after a news update from NPR.
weekly news update from NPR.
Broadcasting directly into your brain.
I've always listened to it.
Rick Ocasek, the lead singer of The Cars, has died. New York police say he was found unconscious yesterday afternoon at his townhouse in Manhattan. The cause not yet known. Reports on his age differ, either 70 or 75. NPR's Elizabeth Blair has this appreciation.
The Cars produced radio-friendly hits that were immediately identifiable.
With his jet black hair and tinted glasses, Rick Ocasek's voice gave the Cars a bit of mystery and a sense of humor. Rick Ocasek was born in Baltimore. He and his bandmates first found success in Boston in the late 1970s. They were regulars on both radio and MTV. Ocasek was a mentor to other artists, including the rock band Weezer. The Cars, with Ocasek, were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2018. Elizabeth Blair, NPR News.
To India now, where hundreds of rescuers are participating in the search for some 35 Indian tourists who remain missing after their boat capsized yesterday in a river in southern India. At least 12 people were killed in the accident, but more than 24 were rescued. It's not clear what caused the boat to capsize, but authorities say tour boats have been barred from operating because of recent flooding. Global stock markets down in Monday trading after oil prices surged following the attack on oil facilities in Saudi Arabia. The benchmarks in London and Frankfurt opened lower. In Asia, Shanghai's Hang Seng was unchanged. Japanese markets were closed for a holiday. I'm Giles Snyder, NPR News from Washington.
Support for NPR and the following message come from the Michigan Lottery. Since 1972, the lottery has contributed $22 billion to support Michigan public education, $941 million last year alone, for fun for schools.
Copper. No, you don't copper. Copper. All right. The next guy that moves gets the same treatment. Line up over there. This is a stick-up.
Brought to you by Kenwood, Budweiser, and Generation X in association with New Rock 89X. We're pleased to announce the grand opening of Detroit's hottest new nightclub. The Freak Store. 15 floors of pure dancing madness. Techno pop and Eurobeats laid down by the underground live every night of the week. See if you can handle the raw power of DJ Jammy Jam as he hosts Techno Pop Terror Saturdays on the 6th floor.
Ooh, another acid flashback.
The heaviest of thrash rap explodes in the Freak Store's subterranean level known as the Dungeon. Experience the Freak Store's 100 million watts of lights and sound as they send you into an uncontrollable moshing frenzy. 18 and over welcome. Whether it's hardcore techno, cutting-edge industrial, or sentimental retro, the Freak Store has a place for you. So just relax and try to be yourself.
I'm a stupid moron with an ugly face and a big butt, and my butt smells, and I like to kiss my own butt.
Tuesdays on the 11th floor, the Freak Store introduces the hottest thing since kissing on the lips, industrial karaoke.
Time is right for the game to be played. Those intricate lies, the fantasies sustain.
Every Wednesday and Sunday night on the 2nd floor, it's like stepping into a time machine when DJ Paul Bunyan hosts Retro Night.
Ah, crap!
The Freak Store, on the corner of Michigan and Trumbull in downtown Detroit. 18 and over welcome, 21 and over no cover before 10. Do you know a freak? Then bring him to the Freak Store.
Something to say? Don't be a bitch. Call into the show at 313-444-8919. Or you can jump in the chat room at alienxradio.com. Broadcasting from beyond planet chaos directly into your vajir holes. It's the attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space.
The house is now on fire.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space. The home stretch, people, that's right. I can see the big blue ball in the window. That's planet Earth. The mothership is once again approaching Earth's atmosphere. I will beam you back to the planet to continue your humdrum little lives that you were experiencing before you had the privilege of being beamed aboard. Wow. All right, anyway. Speaking of beaming aboard and crazy things and crazy talk, I'm going to bring you this little story here before we move on to some music for the Bajir Holes. Do you believe in time travel? Of course you don't. Of course you don't. But if time travel was happening, you wouldn't know about it. Right? Because if you did know about it, there'd be all kinds of paradoxes and all kinds of crazy stuff happening, right? Anyway, I'm going to read you this story and tell me what you think, and then we're going to get into some music. Another tune from Reverend Jack. A tune called Bullet. That's on its way here. But anyway, let's get on with this. Man claiming to be time traveler makes fascinating predictions about 2019. Yeah, that's right. We've been cruising along through 2019 here, okay? When is this going to happen? What about time travelers? Do they exist? Is it possible to travel in time? They predict the future because they claim to have already visited it. And according to a man who goes by the name Noah the Time Traveler, he claims to have been to the year 2030 and back. So he claims to have been all the way to 2030 and back, but yet he's still making predictions about 2019 that haven't happened. Okay, so is there a bad... do we have trouble keeping track of when things happen? In the 2030s, we can't recall when things happen? I don't know. Noah claims that aliens come to Earth and will crash all over the place. So there's going to be like, when they get here, they're just going to be dropping like flies. Okay? It's crashing everywhere. And we as humans will make peace with them, I guess, alongside these creatures, and we're going to live right alongside of them, and we're going to be super content about it, too. So it's going to be like District 9, except we're not going to be nasty to them and not be their overlords and such. We're going to live in harmony together. That's what he claims. I don't know what planet he's talking about, but most people would not embrace that. They would just start shooting, which is crazy. Okay, don't get me wrong. This is a beautiful thing. We should do this. But anyway, he makes the claim while showing crumpled up library pages from a future detailing futuristic events. Okay, so he's like, this is from a book from the future, and it says this. Yeah, I got a printer at home too, bro. Mr. Time Traveler describes these aliens only as slender-like bodies, saying they will have bold skin like that of an alligator or a seahorse. Sounds hot, right? Yeah, I see them now in swimsuit edition. Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition. The alligator skin. Anyway, aliens and humans will live together in peace. Can you imagine, does this mean that we're going to be intermingling, like mating, and coming up with alien-human hybrid creatures? I don't know. The planet they will come from is called Lewis 33. This is okay. Now we're getting into his quote here. Okay, this is where you realize that you're done talking to this guy. Okay, that's when you're like, okay, everything you were saying was unbelievable, but you didn't sound completely batshit crazy yet. But this is what he finishes with. The planet they will come from is called Lewis 33, but the scientific name is, this is the scientific name, 369. The goose drank wine, the monkey chewed tobacco on a streetcar line. Yeah. That's the scientific name of the planet they're becoming from. 369, the goose drank wine, the monkey chewed tobacco on a streetcar line. What? What did he just say? What did you just say? I'm looking at you sideways for a reason. You got me squinting. What? I, as Alien Stone, captain of the mothership, owner of Alien X Radio, want nothing more than to have proof of life on other worlds. If that means them coming here, then that's great. I approve. Okay? Let's find out. Either they're going to be here to destroy us, or they're going to be here to fix all our problems. Either way, they're going to be here to fix all our problems. Okay? Either they're going to fix all our problems by fixing all our problems, or they're going to fix all our problems by killing us all. Either way, bring it on. Let's get it done. Resolution. Let's get it done, okay? It's enough torture. Bring it on. So what do you think, man? He says it's supposed to happen this year still. So keep your eyes in the skies. Keep looking around and waiting and waiting and waiting. Because according to him, the aliens are going to be dropping from the sky. I don't know, I got a cool alien song someplace in here. Gotta have an alien song somewhere. Oh, yeah, the Smashed Idols have an alien song. Anyway, I'm going to play some music for your Vajir holes. And I'm going to start digging around here and trying to find just a few questions to play for you. So, in the meantime, because we're waiting for the aliens to show up, and really, I've been waiting a long time for the aliens to show up, but I still think this guy's batshit crazy. But anyway, the Smashed Idols with Alien Song on Attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from Outer Space.
You ever wonder what it'd be like if aliens came down from outer space? Well, this is what they'd sing. We've come from a distant rock to see what you monkeys got. We'll watch you for years and years, so cry out your final tears. People of Earth, people of Earth, people of Earth, people of Earth. You're gonna die now.
I'm Kelly Harris from Face Off.
This is Rob Miller from Face Off.
Hi, this is Doug Bradley Pinhead from the Hellraiser movies, and you're listening to Alien X Radio. And you'd better carry on listening to Alien X Radio, or I will tear your soul apart.
Alien X Radio.
Was a preacher man, he let his flock with pride. All on that faithful night, the road highway he realized. Got to the door, lost the way inside. For Satan, the Satan, there was nowhere to hide. He's coming for you, better turn and run. He's coming for you with a vengeance and a gun. Yeah, man, I got no more. Not playing games. It's all or nothing. He's got a bullet. With your name. 45 on his hip, coming for what he's owed. Lord, all the outlaws falling down on the stone. Lonely day with blood in his hands, a wolf all alone. Judgment day is coming, time to reap just what they sown. He's coming for you, better turn and run. He's coming for you with a vengeance and a gun. Little man, I got no more, not playing games. It's all or nothing. He's got a bullet with your name. Yeah.
I now see that my path in life has changed. I must do whatever it takes to right this wrong. With this act of misjustice, you have stripped my collar from me. The time for atonement is now at hand. I am no longer a man of God.
He's coming for you, better turn and run. He's coming for you with a vengeance and a gun. Little man, I got no more, not playing games. It's all or nothing. He's got a bullet with your name. Oh, with your name.
Resistance is futile, but you can struggle if you like.
It's the attack of the Monday Morning Mancast from outer space.
You got something to say? Say it, bucko. Call into the show live at 313-444-8919. Again, that number is 313-444-8919.
All right, folks, we are just about out of time. That's right. We're about 10 minutes left of the show, which means I got to bring you just a few questions. Now, we haven't had a show in a couple of weeks on Inside the Mothership. I have been really behind on just a few questions. So I've decided I'm going to pull up a classic one, right? So what better thing to do than find what was played exactly 1 year ago today? September 16th, last year, we did an episode of Just a Few Questions. And I'm going to play that for you right now. So what is Just a Few Questions for those of you just tuning in? It's just a few questions. I make it up each and every week on Inside the Mothership, hosted by myself and D-Unit. It airs on Sundays at 12 noon Eastern here on Alien X Radio and our fine affiliates around the world like UG Media and Raw Talk Online, WON The Apple, all these great stations, 24/7 The Stream in Chicago, Illinois, and blah, 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 right? All over the world. So This is what it sounded like 1 year ago today. An episode called Video Heroes and Has-Beens. You're listening to The Attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from Outer Space.
Oh, yeah.
Is it time?
It's time.
Just a few questions.
All right, it is now time for just a few questions. And it's almost just a few pages.
Because a question is just one.
That's right. And 2 is a couple. 3 is a few. And they can contain sub-questions and Appendix A and such, as long as we just break it into 3. So, question number 1.
Question number 1.
We have no idea what we're going to do to you today.
Nothing.
All right. The Video Game Network has created a brand new reality television show similar to The Real World or Surreal Life. You will have to share a California mansion with 4 other personalities.
Didn't G4 do this?
You will have to share everything from meals to household responsibilities, and it will all be televised for the world to see. Since there is only room for yourself and 4 others on the show, and there are 5 others on the pilot episode, you must vote out someone right away. Who must go first from the cast and why? A, Pac-Man, because he eats too much. B, Mario, because he keeps bitching everyone out in Italian and he keeps parking his cart in the living room. C, Sonic the Hedgehog, because he steals jewelry. D, Cubert, he's much too jumpy. Or E, Laura Croft, because she looks just like Angelina Jolie, except not a slutty, and who the hell wants that? And go.
Laura Croft. I vote Laura Croft.
Vote her out of there.
Get it? No, I hate Laura Croft.
The problem is with the old video game, it would take her forever to turn around to get out of the room.
That's when you just shut it down. And you're just like, I'm done. It's over.
I don't know. If I have a stake in the views, I'd vote off Cubert because that's best for business.
That makes sense.
That's a good solid
wants to see
promotional
Cubert?
move there. I think
Yes.
we're good.
But no, Mario's the threat.
He is.
Mario's the threat, huh?
Yeah.
He's got that. He's got a hammer. He's got tools, and he can throw fire. So he can.
Yeah, I can see that. He's pretty violent.
I'm going with Pac-Man, dude, because
Waka.
yeah, he's got to go.
Yeah, he eats too much.
Yeah, he eats too much. He's got to go.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. I'm just going Pac-Man.
All right, cool. So, who's left? I mean, we just voted off everybody, didn't we? Sonic the Hedgehog gets to stay. He steals jewelry.
Yeah, I feel like I can make a bond with Sonic. Like
Yeah.
I don't wear a whole lot of jewelry necessarily.
Gotcha.
that I
So
think
if you
he
have no
would
rings.
steal. Right? Yeah. If I don't have anything, then like, what's he gonna
I'll
take?
give him some rings just to watch him spin around and run around. That'd be tight.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, he could be the entertainment.
All right. So, question number 2.
Question number 2.
The cast of the show are all heading to the International Nerd Games in Utah. The studio sent over a driver to pick you up and take you to the event. You hear a skidding sound followed by a crash and some cans smashing and a cat screaming and someone shouting, "Watch where you're going, jerk!" You step outside to find that they sent over the driver from Grand Theft Auto to pick you up. The car is on the lawn with a trash can and a stop sign stuck in the grill. You see the driver outside at the street. You may be late because your driver is currently doing what? A, he's beating a prostitute to death with a tire iron until a pile of hovering digital money magically appears. B, he's just standing and staring out into space with the word paused floating in front of him. Because little unsupervised Jimmy was called to dinner and his parents had already asked him 5 times. C, he is actually watching and listening to the mission video instead of just racing around town, running over pedestrians, prostitutes, and police officers like a normal person. Or D, other. And go.
A.
A.
I was going with A too.
I'm gonna go with other. Actually.
Oh, we got a made up one.
All right, what's the other?
He's lining up all of the cars in the middle of an intersection and getting them to stack these big lines where nobody can move, and then he's throwing C4 onto the first cars of each line and walking away and setting them off and watching the trigger effect just happen going down the street
He's making
and blowing up all the
domino
cars.
That's
car blowing
very
up.
specific.
That's what I do in Grand Theft
Are you
Auto
kidding me?
all the time. Like,
Did you
when
just-
I get super bored, I just line up a bunch of cars and then blow them up and watch them all explode after a while, and I'm like, this is satisfying. It's like dominoes. It's great.
Right, the domino car blowing up.
I always listen to the mission, start it, and about 5 seconds in the missions, go, screw it, punch it, just start running people over. See if I can jump the park in the middle of the town.
Or until he starts to drive normal. Like, then when you're so bored that you obey all of the
Did you stop at the
speed
stop
limit.
sign?
Yep,
Let's see if we can
everything.
not get caught.
You know, actually, I feel like he would be pulling Sonic out of the car and beating him for his rings.
That makes sense.
Then the show's over because he was the last one left. You win! Yeah!
Suck it. All right.
All right, so
Question number 3.
question number 3. At the end of the second season of Video Heroes and Has-Beens, you learn that all of your co-stars were actually 10 and 11-year-olds that were able to hack into their parents' gaming accounts. What was your first clue that they were not adults? A, in the chat window, they would always talk about celebrating their kills with Tide Pods and a chocolate milk chaser. B, their number one comeback in arguments was shut up, duty head. C, when asked if they wanted to go out on the town for a night of heavy drinking, fighting, and debauchery, they usually responded with, my mom won't let me go out on a school night. Or D, they were all much better at video games than you are. And go.
Definitely D for me.
D for me as well, for
D.
sure.
Nope, can't do it.
E, they weren't using tilt controls.
Oh, see, he threw in an other when there wasn't even an other
Alternate.
there.
Yeah. Hey,
Ballsy.
we're gonna add. We'll add that. We'll add that.
That
we'll
was
have a
the
phone
dead
a friend,
giveaway.
a shout out, and a add your own other. We'll add those.
Nice. The I don't even know. He probably just, if it's a child, then he's probably just stealing some like credit card information to buy himself V-Bucks on Fortnite or something.
That would be your first clue.
Yeah.
That's how you found out he was a kid. You were investigating to find out if he was a kid.
Oh. Man, I don't even
You
know.
ever been playing one of those
loot
games though,
boxes,
where you're
I
all
think that's
chatting and
dead
everything, and there's this one guy that's like just dropping F-bombs and saying everything, but if you listen to the voice, the guy's obviously like 9.
Oh yeah, that's Call of
tweakers?
Duty Modern
Yeah.
Warfare 2.
Tweakers? You're like, hey man, why don't you go over there? Hey man, why don't you suck my... Whoa!
Yep, pretty
Easy,
much.
Junior. Or you're calling somebody some horrible names, and then you later on find out you've been talking to a 7-year-old.
Kids today would need a safe space after being on Xbox Live Chat in a Call of Duty lobby.
Yeah, back in the Xbox 360 days. Oh man.
All right, folks, I do want to thank you all for tuning in and listening to the very rough episode of Attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from Outer Space. Again, there was no episode scheduled for today. I just couldn't sleep. So here I is. Anyway, like I said, I thank you all for tuning in and checking me out. I just want to throw this into your vagina holes real quick. This is something that I just seen pop up for all you potheads out there. The mother of pot brownies, self-proclaimed inventor of the marijuana brownie, her name was Mary Jane Rathbun. She began mixing marijuana into brownies back in the mid-1950s. In the early 1980s, Mary Jane was baking over 4,000 brownies a week for AIDS patients in California. Despite multiple arrests, she remained an active marijuana advocate until the day she died. So, for all you potheads out there and you that really like to eat the marijuana brownies, you have to thank actual Mary Jane for the Mary J. Brownie. Until next week, this is Alien Stone saying peace out.